good Friday to everyone. It's Easter weekend. I'm so excited. I'm going to go play with my grandkids after this Facebook Live. Make sure my sound's on. Yep, it says my sound is on. Make sure I've got you guys up here. Hold on. It's not coming through. Oh, come on. Where are yous? I decided to start a minute early so I could get this done. And there it is. Okay. I forgot it's on a delay. There we go. And swipe over for people. Hi, Patty. Hi, Tammy and Beth and 8 other people. This silly Facebook. Anyways, let's see. What are we doing today? Oh, it's Fun Fold Friday. Yes. And it's Easter weekend. So I have, it's called a split panel card. My team did this as a mystery stamping event a couple Sundays ago. And I thought it would be a great fun fold for you all. And I'm going to be using a stamp set called In Symmetry. So I will show you that in just a minute. But before we get started, for those of you who have just found me for the first time, you're watching me either on YouTube or you're here on Facebook. My name is Kristina Reese, and I come live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on my Facebook page, 9:30 a.m. Central Time. So that's a little early for my West Coast girls and a little more reasonable for East Coast. But I'm here in the middle in Texas and 9:30 Central. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Let me get that off of there so you can see me again. There we go. Oh, and one more thing, all the measurements for the fun folds are always on my blog. Now, I don't always list all the measurements for all my tutorials. I do that on, what am I trying to say? So if you are a part of my newsletter, if you've signed up for my newsletter, I try to send out card tutorials with measurements there, and then on Friday I do them on my blog. So that's that, and let's get started. Let's get this done. Let me move over to my bird's eye view here. And like I said, all the measurements are over on my blog. So this is called a split fold, and the first thing you're going to want is a base, and your base is cut at 5.5, which is the traditional length of a card. But then it's only 5 3/4, and we're going to score at 4 1/4. And when we fold this over, it makes a panel. Okay, and this is called a split panel fold. Like I said, measurements are on my blog, but that's 5.5 by 5 3/4 scored at 4 1/4 for that panel. Now, the other piece, the other panel here is 1.5 by 5.5, and it will go right there, and it's going to be a split panel. We'll connect it together. Now, we're going to put some layers on this, and this layer is cut at 1, oh my goodness, where are my measurements here? 1 1/4 by 5 1/4, okay, and that fits inside that panel, and I'm using the Night of Navy, and then that one fits in there, so you'll cut 2 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and then I have the designer paper, the In Symmetry designer paper, and I just love our designer paper, and it makes color coordinating so much easier because our cardstock matches perfectly and everything. And this is 1 inch by 5 inches, okay, and you're going to cut 2 of that. So we're going to put all this to the side. We'll put our card together in just a minute. Let's do some stamping first. And I have so what I've done is I've cut this Night of Navy out with our large Stitch So Sweetly rectangle here. Make sure I start to talking and I don't check out, make sure I'm with everybody. Okay, it looks like I've got sound. Looks like everyone's watching. Yes, happy Easter. Very good. All right, so this piece is cut at 2.5 by 3 5/8, and it fits right inside there like that, okay? And put that to the side, and let's do some stamping. First of all, let me get some paper to protect my surface here. And like I said, I'm using the In Symmetry stamp set, and this has been out for quite a while. If you have this one, I'm not sure if there's any left. This was while this is retiring, and it's while supplies last, and it might have already run out. But or they may have it in French, and so you could get the images, but then the sentiments in French. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to be using the colors of the designer paper, so the Flirty Flamingo, the Crushed Curry, and the Night of Navy. I've got that. And then I'm pulling out some of the stamps here. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my sentiment on here so that I know where to put my flowers. Okay, so I'm doing thanks so much. And I'm just stamping that right there. Now, let's get some flowers here. And I'm going to do, whoops, there we go. I'm going to kind of have that one go off the edge. And this one come over here. And this one down here. All right. And then I will fill in with this crushed curry. Okay, and this little bitty flower right here. And we're going to put this one over there, down here, one in the middle, just kind of sprinkling them all around. Okay, and then last but not least, we're going to do our leaves in the Night of Navy. Okay, that's unique, but the paper, let me pull the paper out again. That's why I decided to do it, because the paper had the Night of Navy leaves. Oh, don't want the leaf in the yellow. Okay, and I'm going to double stamp them so that I get a full saturation, and then I'm going to get one that's kind of stamped off like that. Okay, I'm going to try another one. Let's see, where else do I want to put one? Let's put one there. Okay, and now it only took half the ink off of there, so I'm going to re-ink it and stamp off and get that in between there like that. There we go. I like that. We need one more. I like groups of 3. Let's go down here. Okay, and once again, there we go. Okay, now we have a nice decorated thing there. my words are not coming to me. All right, now that I have that all stamped up, let's put this card together. This is a very simple card. It's just got some funky measurements. And once again, like I said, the measurements are over on my blog, creatingwithkristina.com, if you don't know what my blog is. All right, let's get that out of the way. And get some adhesive. So what kind of plans do you all have for Easter weekend? My church, I live here in the Fort Worth, Dallas area, and my church celebrates Good Friday out in the park in Dallas. It's called Clyde Warren Park. It's actually a park that's built on top of a highway. It's pretty interesting there by the Ross Perot Museum. Anyways, we're going to be out there tonight celebrating Good Friday. And then, of course, I'm going to spend the afternoon today with my grandkids. We're going to paint some sun catchers that I got at the craft store. We're going to do that this afternoon and eat candy. All right, so then first I'm layering my panels. And this is just going down by 1/4 inch. So the panel here is 1 1/2, then this is 1 1/4, and then this is 1. Okay, so just going down by 1/4 inches. And you also want to make sure you're going, this is, I'm doing a portrait style. Is that right? No, I'm sorry, I'm doing a landscape style. I apologize, landscape. There we go. You want to make sure your paper's going in the right direction. Now let's do this panel. Pat says it's beautiful weather in Alabama. Yes, the South is having a good time right now with a nice We had all those storms. Now we have some pretty weather. Whoops, oh, no, 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 no. This is the stickiest tape, and when it accidentally falls, sometimes it tears. Whew, I got lucky that time. Okay, and then this piece. And Tina says, here in North Dakota, we're celebrating Christmas. Yeah, you must have snow. A snowy Easter weekend. Oh my goodness. That's funny. Celebrating Christmas. Oh, I know in Australia they are. They're getting ready for winter up there. Or down there, I'm sorry. Down there in Australia. Do I have any Aussies with me today? Sometimes you guys show up. I know it's a really weird time of the day for you guys. All right, let's do the inside panel, and this is just 4 by 5 1/4. There we go. All right, now the trick is having this piece lay right there, okay? Don't let it move. All right, it's there. Get your adhesive here. Now you can do this on dimensionals, or you can just do adhesive, whichever way. You want to make sure you do not get any adhesive in the middle though, or you'll be stuck to the back of your card, and you don't want that. All right, so I've got that piece there, and I'm going to hold that, and I'm going to bring this down. So now I'm holding these 2 pieces down, and I'm going to take this one, and I'm just going to connect it like that. Yay! And we have a split panel card. Isn't that fun? Oh my gosh. All right, so be sure, as soon as I finish this, I'm heading over to the blog and I'll list all of the measurements. I'll also have a PDF file that you can download and print off if you'd like it that way. If you have not signed up for my blog, please do so when you go. If you're on YouTube watching this, there's a link for the newsletter. If you are watching on Facebook, when you go over to my blog, there'll be a pop-up and it'll give you a place to sign up for the newsletter. If you're not a part of that, I send out goodies, exclusive card tutorials just for my email subscribers. Plus it helps you keep up with all my card kits that I do and other specials that Stampin' Up! May have. Okay. Have a blessed weekend. I love you guys. Y'all are the best. Make sure I haven't missed anything. Okay. Bye-bye, you guys.